Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, and I'm a New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and I'm also a proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am so excited to be speaking with acclaimed singer, songwriter, model, photographer, and athlete. His name, DIOS Mac. For more on DIOS Mac, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of DIOS Mac.
Hit me on my telly telling me to slide. I look at my phone on the FaceTime. You looking all good and I know you wanna ride. I hope that you come when I come inside. It's me and you, baby, and it's high. And I don't have to lie, baby, it's you and I feel high like I'm in the sky. Don't have to try, baby, it's no lie. Yeah.
Well, hello, DIOS Mac. How are you?
Hi.
You are a Renaissance man, my friend, and the audience just got a little sneak peek of your latest single, Ah. I want to know, DIOS Mac, first and foremost, before we get into that latest single, where were you born? And, okay, people don't know this. You are a professional athlete, basketball player. You are a model, a photographer, a singer-songwriter. I want to know where you grew up and when did you realize I can do it all?
Thank you. I was born in Manhattan, so basically down. Like I want to say Union Square. Like it's a hospital that basically got closed down and turned into like the emergency room. So
Yes.
right off of 14th Street. So that's where I was born. My family was currently living in the Bronx in that time, and as I was born, they wanted to shape a better future for me. So we moved to Manhattan and LES, and I had a really great childhood. Super encouraged, told all the time that like I really had the potential to do whatever I put my mind to, and I just continued to believe it. And as I grew, I learned about things like multiple streams of income and stuff like that, and it felt weird to put myself in the box of one thing. Like I've had fabulous jobs. I've worked for the law offices of New York. Like I've had great jobs, but every time I get into that job, I feel like I'm like diluting myself. I feel like I'm presenting less of myself to the world, and I didn't want to do that. So I mean, it's a hard route. And at times I do go through challenges that a lot of people don't, but I wouldn't trade my life for anything. Like I love everything that I do, and I can't do less of it. I can't be less of a musician. I can't be less of an athlete. I can't be less of a photographer. I can only be myself. And that's what I'm hoping with my life I can be an example of, is that people can be successful with just being themselves and complete whatever that is.
DIOS Mac, I just met you, and having gotten to know you and research you over these past few days, you have inspired me to remind me, as someone who performed 25 years as a singer, performed at Carnegie Hall, not bragging, I'm just saying, not gonna apologize if we're gonna talk about not apologizing, but I always wanted to be a director and a creator. And so, you know, to be able to finally unapologetically step into that field with abandon, even though the world might be like, wait, you have this great career with your twin brother, why are you giving that up? And it's like, no, actually, I'm not giving it up. I can wear many hats at once, sometimes one at a time. And DIOS, you are such a perfect example of someone who has not only stepped into their bliss as being a multi-hyphenate, but you are walking the walk. I want to know for you, so here you are as this superstar athlete growing up playing basketball. When did you also start to realize with, for example, your singer-songwriting hat on, that was something that you needed to get out and out into the world?
I feel like that's a very like specific story. I feel like in high school I realized, like, I had iPods and iPod touches before everybody else apparently in high school. Like I bought it immediately when I heard what it was. And I feel like a lot of kids at that same age didn't buy one immediately because they thought like, all right, like what's the point? Like it's not something that, you know, I feel is going to be worthwhile. But as soon as I understood what it was, I jumped at it. And from that point, I realized a lot of people wanted to borrow my iPod just to listen to what I selected as good music. So from there, I was like, okay, I must have good taste, whatever that is, you know, if everybody wants to listen to my stuff. And at that point, it was other people's music. And I always, like, from like a very, very young age, I had very vivid images of music videos. Every time I play music, I can see a full length, like vision of what the video can be. And I always—
By the way, DIOS Mac, sorry to interrupt, but I want to play over this right now, a little bit of more of your original song, and then a little bit of your song, Sigh. Both these music videos, they're like mini films, and I apologize for interrupting. Keep going.
No, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like, that is 100% what I feel inside myself. Like, I love movies and stuff, but music videos are a very, very different art. And I feel like that's what I gravitated towards. And in my life, I never really expected to be what I am when it comes to music. I didn't think I was going to produce it. I didn't think I was going to like sing the way I did. But once I started feeling those feelings and understanding like, oh wait, the music videos can be my music videos, you know, like connecting that dot was all I needed. And I was like post high school, you know, where I was just like, I got to do this. I have to make some songs. And then hearing my voice and hearing it in that way, I fell in love.
Well, DIOS Mac, you're someone who's a hard worker, obviously with the discipline of an athlete, but like any great artist, it also takes the discipline of an athlete. And the fact that you not only are unapologetically going after, you know, your modeling, for example, I mean, hello, but you using your gift that God has given you, or whomever you believe in, that you have been given a gift of not only your athleticism, that obviously is a craft that needs to be fine-tuned and that you do, you know, your singing, songwriting, but you as a vessel, as someone who's able to use their body as an expression of joy. I'm curious to know what that's been like for you in terms of the modeling.
Well, like modeling is a gift in itself. Like, I feel like same story, actually. I owe a lot to Apple.
Yeah, I know. I was like, should we get like Apple to sponsor this or what?
Like that first Apple iPod Touch means me. Like, it came out at the perfect time, right when MySpace started to boom a little bit. Like, and basically that iPod Touch had the first one that had a camera. I went crazy. Like, I would set up so many like little photo shoots in my room that, again, it was just expression. It was just like, I hope a girl sees this and I hope she really likes it and thinks I'm fly today, so she gives me a kiss at school. I don't know, like, you know, manifesting. Like, but that was my first taste of what I really wanted. And luckily I was in New York, and long story short, I walked into like one of the top agencies at the time, and I just asked if I could work, and they said yes, and that was kind of it. Like, I started working Fashion Week, everything just started rolling. And then I got opportunities to go to Africa to do the same, like to model. And I didn't ever see modeling being what it was for me, because at the end of the day, it started out for me as a lie. Like, when I was younger, I used to take pictures, and I used to tell all the people in school, like, guys, I'm modeling for Sean John right now. I don't know if you know, but, you know, like, I'm telling them these things, but these lies turned into this weird truth. It was as if I manifested involuntarily.
I mean, okay, DIOS Mac, you are literally the walking embodiment of The Secret before The Secret came out. And like, I feel like with you, DIOS Mac, it's like you have always known within you that you were born with a light. Look I'm a director, right? I'm looking at you, and what I know about you, but what about the vibe, the vibration? I'm like, you're a star. You have the it factor. I think you know it, but you do it in such a humble way. Instead of telling people, you just show it and do the thing. That you take each of these beautiful different skill sets that you have, that you not only do it to the nth degree and with excellence, but that, correct me if I'm wrong, you seem like the type of person that is constantly working on each of these crafts. And before the interview, we were talking to you a little bit about basketball, and just, I don't know, like anyone would on a Friday say, oh yeah, and by the way, I'm also looking for a professional basketball contract. Like, you are at that level. Talk to me about basketball, what that means to you, and what are those next steps?
Basketball is basketball kind of gets me emotional. I put a lot of my life into basketball. I care about it more than a lot of things. It's what keeps me sane. It makes me feel like I'm real. A lot of the times I feel very disconnected from the experience sometimes, just because like I don't enjoy the idea of like humans being slaves to their own creations. Like we're slaves to money, we're slaves to opinions, we're slaves to so many things, and basketball gives me that freedom. Basketball makes me feel like I'm beyond all of those things. And there was one moment where, like, again, I was making great money at one job, and I saw I literally started dreaming about my future from that point. And I realized I hated it. Like, I didn't want to hate my life. I didn't want to hate where I ended up. I didn't want to hate the woman I ended up with because I was in that job, Basketball gives me that, like, and in all honesty, like, I can really say with all of my heart that, like, a lot of me has had to work really hard to get over the fact that I didn't immediately go into the NBA and immediately get a contract out of college. Like, that hurt, but every day basketball is just there for me. It's like this guiding light. It's like this thing that organizes my mind, my perception of their experience. Like, to know that there's one thing that I could potentially be paid for that is made of pure joy, that reminds me that this life is a game, but we as humans want to use our minds to make it less of a game and more about a mental fight with ourselves about how much we can control it, but in reality, we're humans and we can't control this, so why not just be hands off and free with everything that we have, and that's what basketball feels like. I love shooting the ball. I love dribbling. I love everything about it. It's the perfect comparison to life for me. And it's almost like this thing that I use as my measuring stick. If I feel good in basketball, then I feel good everywhere else.
Oh, DIOS, I mean, you didn't want to get emotional. You're getting me emotional. That's why I had to cut myself out and just put the camera on you. It's what I'm hearing from you is that when you're playing basketball, you literally are most at play. You're at that childlike bliss where all of the pressures and expectations and the noise and the stuff that doesn't matter in this world go away. And the fact that you have as basketball as your North Star, but to know that at still such a young age, and the fact that you still are able to release all of these other passions and talents that you've been gifted with and not put them down, but say, in the meantime, I'm not going to wallow in bed until the NBA calls. You have a lot more in you to get out. And it's just a beautiful thing as a vessel of a human that you are to do. It's incredible.
Thank you.
I just speak the truth. I'm from New York. You're from New York. We got no time.
That's
Listen,
facts.
I could speak with you for a very long time. I'm so grateful for your time. I'm excited that you're coming on board, this new social media app, because you inspired this person right here, and the millions that are going to be a part of this experience and this amazing new, social media app for artists. You are literally walking the walk of what it is to be an artist, that an artist is more than one thing. It is whatever you put your mind to that gives you joy.
Yes.
God bless you. If I could snap, I'd do it back. It is so nice to meet you, and I really look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you.
Same, Will. Thank you so much.
Age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.